Efforts that help educate, help plan, help let them know what contraceptions are in place so that we can avoid any other further action. I am strongly pro-life, and so anything that we can do to keep from having abortions or to keep them from not knowing what is available, I will absolutely support. It's to be done responsibly, knowing that we have measurables on what we are looking for, where the end goal is, and knowing exactly where to start and stop this. And contributing members of society. The issue with the refugees in terms of the Syrians, as governor of South Carolina, we always welcomed the refugee program. It changed when it came time to the Syrian refugees, and that was at a time where I did have a conversation with Director Comey, and I said, tell me if this is any different than the way we handled it before. And that is when Director Comey said, we don't have enough information to vet these refugees. And I said, so you can't vet them the same way you vet others? And he said, we don't have the information.
Madam Ambassador, may I introduce you to the Chief of Protocol, Peter Delarte.
Congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you very
and welcome
much.
to the United Nations.
It's a pleasure.
We are at your service.
Thank you very much. It's
Please.
great to be here.
Please.
Good morning.
Good
How are
morning.
you? Good morning. We talked to the staff yesterday. It's a thrill to be here at the UN. I will tell you that we have hit the ground running. There is a new U.S. UN. We talked to the staff yesterday, and you are going to see a change in the way we do business. It's no longer about working harder, it's about working smarter. And the way that we'll show value is to show our strength. Our goal with the administration is to show value at the UN. And the way that we'll show value is to show our strength, show our voice, have the backs of our allies, and make sure that our allies have our back as well. For those that don't have our back, we're taking names. We will make points to respond to that accordingly. But this is a time of strength. This is a time of action. This is a time of getting things done. To have me go in, look at the UN. Everything that's working, we're going to make it better. Everything that's not working, we're going to try and fix. And anything that seems to be obsolete and not necessary, we're going to do away with. But this is a time of fresh eyes, new strength, new vision, and a great day at the U.S. UN. Thank you very much.
Nous voulons qu'il soit notre messager, notre porte-parole au niveau de son gouvernement. Qu'ils ont été toujours trompés que non, voilà, tout marche bien au pays. Et pourtant, rien ne marche depuis l'avènement de Kabila au pouvoir de ce pays.
Nous sommes désolés de tout ce qui s'est passé. Il était prévu que nous donnions notre lettre ouverte à Madame l'ambassadeur des États-Unis auprès des Nations Unies. Malheureusement, la police de la MONUSCO, qui est censée collaborer avec nous, la population, qui est censée former la police nationale congolaise, nous sommes désolés du fait qu'elle nous a brutalisés et nous a torturés et n'a même pas respecté les droits humains, notamment les droits de manifester publiquement.
Of the Council's Provisional Rules of Procedure, I invite Mr. Nikolai Donadinov, Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process and Personal Representative of the Secretary General December 6, including with calls for escalation of violence and address critical sewage and broader environmental problems in Gaza and Syria. Mr. President, during the report
on General Assembly resolutions taking into account the legitimate concerns of both Palestinian and Israeli sides. Mr. President, members of the Council, in closing, I would like to share some broad observations on developments concerning the provisions of the resolution during the past year.
Peace in the Middle East. On the surface, Resolution 2334 described Israeli settlements as impediments to peace. Reasonable people can disagree about that, and in fact, over the years, the United States has expressed criticism of Israeli settlement policies many times. But in truth, it was Resolution 2334 itself that was an impediment to peace. This Security Council put the negotiations between the Israelis and the Palestinians further out of reach by injecting itself, yet again, in between the two parties to the conflict. By misplacing the blame for the failure of peace efforts squarely on the Israeli settlements, the resolution gave a pass to Palestinian leaders who for many years rejected one peace proposal after another. It also gave them encouragement to avoid negotiations in the future. It refused to acknowledge the legacy of failed negotiations unrelated to settlements. And the Council passed judgment on issues that must be decided in direct negotiations between the parties.
The level of provocative rhetoric is heightened since December 6, including with calls for escalation of violence and
Given the chance today, the United States would veto Resolution 2334 for another reason. It gave new life to an ugly creation of the Human Rights Council, the database of companies operating in Jewish communities. This is an effort to create a blacklist, plain and simple. It is yet another obstacle to a negotiated peace. It is a stain on America's conscience that we gave the so-called BDS movement momentum by allowing the passage of Resolution 2334. To the United Nations' shame, this has been a disproportionately hostile place for the Middle East's most enduring democracy. The United States refuses to accept the double standard that says we are not impartial when we stand by the will of the American people by moving our U.S. embassy. But somehow the United Nations is a neutral party when it consistently singles out Israel for condemnation. For decades, Israel has withstood wave after wave of bias in the UN and its agencies. The United States has often stood beside Israel. We did not on December 23, 2016. We will not make that mistake again. This week marks the one-year anniversary of a significant setback for Middle East peace. But the United States has an undiminished commitment to helping bring about final status negotiations that will lead to lasting peace.
is I know you're going to go vote because you showed up here today. I need you to help us fight a little bit harder. Go tell 10 people. It can be family, it can be coworkers, it can be neighbors. Go tell 10 people and ask them if they know where to vote. You'd be shocked that some people don't know and they don't know who to ask. Give them a ride to the polls if we need to. Because when we win tomorrow, that's when we start to make America strong again. And we can do it. I know we can do it. And what we need to make sure is when Republicans win, we remind them that winning is only half the battle. Proving we deserve to be there is the more important half of the battle.